Come on, there we go. We are live. Man, that was a delay and a
Oh,
half.
come on.
What's going on, Miss Jennifer Lacey?
Not much. I mean, it's been a week. I've had some guests and I'm just running around and kids starting to get back to school things. So yes,
When does school start again?
Mid-August. But I have a color guard daughter who starts with the band, which starts mid-July. So they are full-fledged, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, doing all the stuff to get ready for Texas football. So like, I feel like people that are in Texas understand that when Texas football, it's when football season starts, everybody else that does things at the
Everything
football game has
stops.
been working a long time to get ready for those performances. So yeah, I got one daughter that's been doing that, and then I have a senior daughter. So the senior daughter, it's
Yeah.
all the senior things. Yeah, this weekend was a start getting your parking spot ready, because they do now where they sell parking spots to the seniors where they can paint them and decorate them, and then that's their spot the whole
Oh,
school year. So, I
okay.
mean, good, bad, or indifferent, whoever decided to make money off of a parking spot that people already have to go to school for. Like, I don't know, however they figured that out, but they pay for it, and then they can paint it and personalize
Yeah,
it, and then
yeah.
that's like so we're working on some of that stuff, getting ready. So anyway, just all the mommy
That's
things.
fun. That's fun. Yeah, it's good. I know when I go out and get my mileage in, when I pass by Brack, I've noticed in the mornings the band's been practiced. I was like, oh yeah, school's about to start, baby. It's coming. Well, at least it ain't October yet, because October gets pretty busy for us, doesn't it?
Oh, I mean, yes, not even just individually. Like, we each individually have a lot of things going on. And then October is Congress, where we're going to be in Atlanta doing No BS live stream. And then
Yep.
we also have our Builder 2.0.
The Builder 2.0 Summit.
Yes,
Yep.
we have a lot. We have a lot coming up. Yes.
Oh yeah. So if y'all missed it, we are gonna be doing an episode, a no BS experience at LCI Congress in Atlanta. So looking forward to that. But today we're having a conversation about risk and regret. Oh my
Yes.
God, we already got people coming in. We got Mr. Ben Wood says good
Good
morning
morning,
from
Ben.
Florida. Miss Haiti again. She says buenos dias.
Good
Miss
morning.
Haiti, I'm gonna be in DFW 2 times next month or this month in August. So I'll be
I didn't even
harassing
know
you
that,
both.
Haiti. He's already telling you information. I don't even know.
Yeah. I think the 11th and then the 23rd or something
Okay.
like that.
I'm in
I'm
town
gonna
on the
be there.
11th, so that's good. Maybe we can connect.
Oh, and then we got Old Faithful, we'll say
That
the
torch.
career lurker. He's not a lurker. Mr. Jim Gontorius. What's up, brother? Oh man. Okay, so the name of today's session is why playing it safe is the biggest risk. Jen, I don't understand. Like, I thought you're supposed to be safe so that there is no risk. What I'm
I think
confused.
I think well, part of it is from the call last week, or the last time we got together. Some
Yep.
some topics started to surface during that conversation, and one of them
Okay.
was the risk you're willing to take versus not taking the risk, and then what do you go, ugh, like, and then you're living with this regret. So it's the scariness of like jumping and trying it and seeing what happens, and it could go great or it could go not great, or just going, I'm good, I'm not going to play in that sandbox. And then you're looking back going, hey, like, what could have happened? So that was like
Ooh.
the mix of what we were talking about. And you and I were like, okay, risk versus regret. Like, that's a great topic on where people are. And there's not a right or wrong answer. Like, there's
Right.
people that are way far here, there's people that are way far, there's people that were here and they're slowly moving over here. And so we get
Yes.
to experience a lot of those people of they're
Yeah.
living in this kind of shift or mind shift, or they're kind of changing careers. It could be changing their kind of things that they're willing to do in certain rooms and things like that. So that's like the conversation.
Yeah, 100%. And I remember you and I were talking about it. It's like, okay, we typically look at risk reward, but what about risk regret? And I'm like, oh, I know that life. Like for me, it's part of the reason why I take so much risk, which to me doesn't seem like risk, but for smart people, it's extremely risky.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and so it's like, okay, let's talk about risk versus regret. So, folks, that's what we're going to get into.
Yes.
And of course, I'm going to be advocating for taking more risk. And we got a bunch of people in the comments. So let's do the housekeeping, and then we'll come back and shout out all the people in the comments,
Okay.
Jen.
Okay. Well, this may be you, Douglas Berry, because I do not know if I've seen you before. So I may be talking directly to you. But good morning. Those of you that are out there that are listening that maybe have already let us know where you're calling in from, or let us know that you're there by giving us a comment, or those that haven't yet and you're kind of just chilling and watching and going, what's going on with these two crazy people? I'm talking to all of y'all. So if you will, please, if this is your first time ever jumping on the live stream, watching us on the screen, or you've been here, you've been listening, but you haven't commented, because the commenting is the only way we know you're there. We can't see you if you don't comment. We're asking you, if nothing else, we'd love more. If you will put a blue heart in the comment, it lets us know, number one, it's your first time here or the first time commenting and you're jumping in. It also lets our entire No BS tribe know that you are new to this little setting, and then they will attack you and they will love on you and they will engage with your content and they will do all the things to let you know that you are cared for and you are safe. And so my ask is, please, if you're out there, drop a blue heart to let us know so we can acknowledge you. And also just jump in, add questions, add comments, because that is what makes our life, that's what makes it better, is when y'all are having the conversations, because usually there's a conversation over there while Jesse and I are having a conversation. So
Yes.
Every time you drop anything into the chat or a comment, you get added into the randomizer. And what that does is it drops you into a drawing that at the end of the call, you may get picked for what, Jesse?
So for everybody that drops a comment or emoji in the chat, you get into the randomizer. And so at the top of the hour, it's a little digital raffle. We'll do the button pressing, and the person that gets selected gets a 1-month pass to work on the leadership skills that no program touches on because they're too scary and too real.
Yes,
2 calls out a month. So there is a little bit of a carrot out there, if you're a little on the lurker side. And look at that, Mr. Douglas Berry heard you.
Welcome, Douglas. Welcome.
Blue heart. You already know, people swarm Douglas. And he adds, his motto is, we only have one life, might as well make it epic. Amen.
You're in the right place, Douglas, just so you know.
Yep.
So please stay.
Yep. And we got another repeat offender, Mr. Christopher Johnson. What's up, Christopher? Coming in from Nashville. All right, so we're gonna have some conversation today. I like it.
Yes.
Just like Jen said, if you got comments, ideas, objections, whatever, like throw it in the comment, because it really is. Jen and I talk all the time, and we can just talk. But the value of the live stream is y'all's questions, your insights, your cheat codes, your experience. So you are invited to drop your stuff in there. And so first question is this, Jen.
Okay.
What is go ahead.
No, you're good.
I thought you said, what is one small risk you took that turned out better than you expected?
Okay, so that's for y'all out there listening. Like, we're asking you to add that into the comments.
Yep. Drop your response in the comments. Maybe we start with this, Jen. Like, how do you know if it's a risk or not? Because that's a question that I have. Because people's like, man, you take a lot of risks. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? So when you say risk, what are some of the parameters of what would be qualify as a risk?
I'm going to speak to now, because there's going to be some times where I'm like bouncing back and forth. So don't think that I have like different personalities here. Sometimes it's where I was. And Jesse knows, because he's been on this journey with me for about 5 or 6 years, where I was and what it looked like, and then what it is now. Because I feel like now they would be defined as a little bit different. But I'm going to say in a very general term, for me, is when there's something I need to do or I'm about to do or I'm grappling with, and there's something inside of me. It's not a hesitation. It's almost like a what could happen. What like my body is involved in it, and that's a crazy definition. But if my body is not reacting into a like breathing, or I'm kind of like I'm sweating something, then in my mind it's not a risk. I don't know if that even makes sense, but for me personally, if my body is a part of whatever it is I'm about to do, I know that like this is a bigger thing. This is not just okay, do I want a milkshake or do I want, a dirty soda? Like I think it's a bigger decision because my body is deciding, like it's physically affecting me. So that's how I decide if something is a risk.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm hearing is you'll sense it, like you'll feel it.
I'll feel it. And I know that I was going to start with that, but I know sometimes people are like, okay, what, like, okay, that's a little touchy feely. I understand. But when I physically, somewhere in me is like, I'm about to take a jump, or I'm about to do something that like, I'm not sure what the outcome's going to be. Like I can feel it.
Got it. Okay. I think I can understand that, right? And I think maybe it's a signal, right? It's a signal of like, which I don't normally have. I rarely have.
Correct.
Like, for me, it's like, yeah, let's do that. It'll be fun. And, well, what if all these things are like, oh, those are good points. Okay, let's look out for that. It doesn't stop me.
Yes.
It's just, okay, let's plug in some other things here to mitigate.
What about you?
I guess. So for me, when I think about risk, and this is really going to be way out there for a lot of people, I believe we are 100% taking risk all the time. I believe, and I recognize within myself, for a long time, there were decisions that the only thing that kept me from making the decision was the amount of money it was going to cost me. I never evaluated how much time and energy and focus the thing would cost me. And so when I look at, a long time ago, I would not spend money because there was no guaranteed ROI, right? Like, what if the product doesn't deliver, doesn't perform the way I want it to? Never mind, I'll save the money. But I would spend tons of energy and focus on people, on things, never thinking twice about whether it's going to produce anything meaningful for me. Right?
How meaningful were all those bar tabs?
Well, if I could remember, Jen, I would tell you, but I don't really remember. But so exactly right. Like there was a time when I was starting the business, or decided to start the business, I got a coach, and the price that she quoted me was a big number. And I'm like, man, that's a lot. Like, what if it don't work? What if? And then I was like, well, wait a minute. I've paid 10 times that for for one of my DUIs. And that was
out of jail. Right.
All that did was keep me out of jail. And so I made the spend, and it was awesome. Like, I think there's maybe a point here that in a lot of cases, the money I spend on things, the product or service, was not worth the spend. But the lesson I got from the spend was massively valuable, right? And so, anyways, in terms of risk, what I want to maybe add in terms of parameters is like, what are we guarding? What am I guarding? Am I guarding my money? Am I guarding my energy, my focus, my time? Because all of it, when we put it on the table, will produce the intended outcome or not.
Yes.
And I think I know me, it's easier for me to say, no, I'm not going to spend the money. And I never think about the energy and focus that I just risk and throw piss away all the time. So I don't know if that helped people out there.
There's so many comments, Jesse. There's so many people that have jumped in. Like, I want to at least acknowledge so many people.
Yes. All right. So let's go to the comment. Miss Jackie says, it's hard not to play it safe when it was drilled into us for so long. What do you? Okay, I mean, this is gonna. I don't know if we're gonna get through all the questions today, Jen. Um, what do you think about that idea about playing it safe being drilled into us?
Well, I mean, and it's interesting enough that like there was a post I had this week about like genius and how like children young are like curious and they're so open to like trying things, not worrying about the fail. They're worrying about just the experience and what this is and what the curiosity of just trying things and doing them. And it is, and I don't know how I said it, but it's almost conditioned out of us as we go through
Huh?
school, as we go through just life on like the risk becomes like that's not something you want to do. You don't want to you want to what's the I know this is a for sure thing and that's I don't know and it conditions us to go safe. I'm
Yeah.
safe here. And I mean, and I feel like even those now that are out there, you and I, other people, that doesn't mean we weren't there, that we didn't get conditioned to think a certain way. And then we had to kind of break out of the shell and figure out what that looked like. Because it is like, it's the world we live in, whether it's a protected world or a risk averse world or a, just take care of yourself world. I mean, like all of those things fit. And it keeps you in this little status quo. You're just going to walk the line. This is the path. This is what everyone else did. Like, and that way it doesn't bring any unwanted, maybe judgment or things like that on you. And so
Yes.
I feel like that's a lot of what we has been drilled into us.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, going back to the comment where I lost it. Give me a second.
I know there's so many people I just want to say hi to, but I'm going to wait for you to bring their comments up.
Yeah, we'll get there. So Jag says it's hard when it was drilled into us for so long. And so here's one thing that there was a shift, well, a bunch of shifts for me, was the thing, and all of us are, you said it, we're all conditioned by our parents, by our environment, blah, 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 blah. And there was a time up until 7th grade where whatever mom said was like, oh, don't do that. Be careful with that. It was like, she was right. Don't do that. It's a risk because, whatever. And then it was like, wait a minute. I've been playing by those rules and I'm still suffering a negative outcome. Screw that. I'm going to do these other things that they've been telling me I shouldn't do. And so, for example, as a 7th grader, speaking my mind to a teacher when I knew that, or believed rather, that he or she was wrong, I would never have done that. After 7th grade, you bet your ass I did. And I'm not talking about wrong about the subject that they're teaching. I'm talking about wrong in how they treated me or treated my classmates. And so did I get in trouble? Sure I did. But I said what I had to say. And there was some impact in terms of the way the teacher behaved going forward. And so that just grew and grew and grew. Was there risk in it? Yes. What I was taught was like, no. You respect authority. You yes, sir, no, ma'am, like all that stuff. And so not taking that, like not standing up, really always sat with me. It sat heavy with me, right? Because I could see like,
the regret, they're being right? The regret that you were
100%. All right, so we got a bunch of people
in
the comments. So let's
do the comments. Let's go.
Some people we haven't seen in a minute. Miss Linda, what's up, Miss Linda?
Good morning.
I love it. We got Miss Leslie. What's up,
Leslie?
Coming in from the NYC.
Yes. Oh.
Who's this? How about this person? This
Yesenia!
Oh, hey, you're in town. What's up, Yesenia? I love it. I hope you're having fun. If you're looking for the most delicious tacos in the world, Yesenia, you need to go to Eddie's Taco House. There's 2 locations. Either one will be fine. And I'm just going to tell you, the tortillas are freaking addicting. And we got a comment coming in from YouTube land. Lay Waltman says, I know if I've ever taken the risk route, to be honest, or taken the risk in hard, it turned out better than expected, I guess. Right. Okay. And so I'm guessing
Welcome, Blue Heart. Lee, thank you for
Yes,
coming.
yes, welcome. Sometimes it doesn't work out, right? Sometimes it kind of blows up. And here's my rationalization, or the way I square it, right, in terms of the way I function and operate, is, well, at least I know. Right? Like if I take the risk and it doesn't work out the way I want it to, or it blows up in my face, I know now what worked and what didn't work. Whereas when I don't take the risk, I'm always wondering, which maybe is like the baby brother of regret, right? I don't know. I didn't try it, so I don't know if it works or not. Which is a little different than regretting not taking the action.
Oof.
What do you think about that, Jen?
Oh, well, Jesse, I love that. And where my brain went is where on the spectrum, and where are the things? One, thank you, Douglas. We are so happy you are here. We hope you continue to come back. It's where is the I told you so? And I want to go.
Ooh.
So I want to dig into this a little bit. I feel like that we don't make decisions because we don't want the I told you so. It keeps us from making decisions. There's also the ones where, because we know we're right and we know that what someone should do, that when they don't do it, I told you so. And so it's like when you're self-reflecting, is the I told you so something that like makes you go, oh, like I need to be careful not to do? Or is the I told you so absolutely, and here's what I learned, and absolutely, and here's what I'm adjusting? So I feel like how you feel about I told you so, receiving it, but also, are you the person that gets people to go, oh, I don't want to do that again? And as a parent, that is absolutely, you have to be super careful on trying to make your point, that then they go, I'm not trying that again. So that's my thought.
Well, Jen, okay, here's what's coming through for me. Is maybe some people, it is possible that they're justifying playing it safe, because the ROI is not guaranteed, or
Correct.
it's less likely to occur. When the truth is, it's not a matter of ROI that they're avoiding. It's the judgment of other people. It's the looking silly or feeling dumb for making a decision that didn't work out like in its ideal state. Yeah. Ding, ding. I don't give you two. I think yes. I think when we look back, when I've made a decision to like not make the spend or focus effort and energy on a thing, the times now that I say no, it's because I'm constrained. I don't have the money, or I don't have the focus and energy to give it. It's not a question of what if it doesn't work. I just don't have the bandwidth or the volume of resources to allocate to the thing. So I'm just not going to do it. When I think back, way back, it really was a question of like, I mean, hell, here's an example. Remember the Chewy videos? I've heard that Chewy is going to be making a comeback this month.
Oh my gosh, y'all make sure y'all pay attention and follow Jesse, WS, follow all the things. Because if you're new, which we do have a lot of new people, and you haven't experienced Chewy, then you're going to be in for a treat.
Yep. Oh, look, we got a question from YouTube land asking, what's the topic here? We're talking about risk and regret. And the question right now is, what is one small risk you took that turned out better than expected? So thank you for that question from your girl Corey. Your girl Corey. Got it. Man, that twisted me up. Anyways, the Chewy videos, that's like the last time I can think where I'm like, like there was no money or like, right? I had already recorded the video. I already did the thing. Right before I hit post, I was like, what if, right? What if people think I'm stupid? What if people, get the
stereotypical, all the things that like, oh yeah, we were expecting this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I did it anyways, and it was freaking awesome. Like it worked out. People remember it. I had fun with it. I did a bunch of them. Um, Mr. Jim says, I live for the Chewy moments. Yes, sir. He's coming. He's making a comeback. So, anyways, my reason I shared that about the Chewy videos is because at that moment, what was I concerned about? I was concerned about being judged or belittled or, whatever. So I think there's a real thing. And I guess confession, right? I experience it too. All right, so we look, we got Mr. Russell.
Good morning, Russell.
Construction leader. Yep. Congratulations. He made it first week, new job. He's having an amazing time over there. I got to check in with him in the middle of the week here. Glad you're here, Mr. Russell. Mr. Reggie Hillard. What's up, Reggie? I think Reggie's a blue heart.
Blue heart, Reggie. If this is your first time joining or first time commenting, please put a blue heart because we're blue heart means you're here and we want to love on you. So welcome.
Yes. And he says he's coming in from Dallas, born and raised in the Deuce Dime in San Antonio, and adds risk can lead to rewards. Respectfully, choose your battles carefully. I agree with that, right? Like, pick your battles, man. You don't need to take every risk. There was a time where I did that. Oh, look, we got another troublemaker. Mr. Bernard Hammonds is good morning, people. What's up, Bernard? All right, so let's go to the answer. We have some answers to the question. Mr. Douglas Berry, man, he came in first time and he's coming for real. He says his first real risk after the Air Force was publishing his first children's book. I love that.
I'm already loving him.
Yeah, figured he'd sell 30 copies. 6 years later, he's sold over 3,000 copies. Doug, I feel you, brother. Writing the book is one thing. Hitting print is another thing.
Yes.
And it sounds like it's worked out. I get the sense that you have not stopped writing children's books and probably got some real big, like meaningful experience from it.
Yes.
Which is why I'm a huge advocate of taking risk as often as possible. Miss Linda Clark, she says, ROI doesn't have to be dollars. Thank you, sister. Learning what I am not doing again is sometimes worth the dollars I set on fire. What do you think about that?
Well, Jesse, you know my take on ROI. Like all of everything right now that we're talking about ROI is dollars and money. And my take on ROI is not what it normally is for everyone. So normally it's that return on investment, which is our industry standard. ROI for me is what are the ripples of impact?
Yes.
And that is enough to where it is my company. Like that is what I love is what are the ripples of impact we are creating by those little micro decisions and those little things we do. And to me, when you're looking at it from that perspective, yes, it's going to cost money sometimes. Yes, there's going to be fails. Yes, there's going to be some small wins and some small some small things that set us back a little bit. But what were the ripples of impact of making that one decision? I think it just resets. It resets the playing field of what you're looking at. So anyway, that's my take.
Yeah, totally. Just you already know me. My attitude, freaking do the damn thing.
Yes.
And then you'll know. Like for real, she said it. I've spent a lot of money on a lot of stuff when I had high expectations of the thing. And then after I did it, I knew I'm not going to do that again.
Yes.
Like, now I know it, like there's certain, I'll give a little example. This was years ago. There was this person who was marketing or selling the cheat code, the blueprint to producing high impact social media content, right? For all, platforms and whatever. I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. Let me do it. It was like $250 an hour call. So I get on the thing and I'm expecting like personalized, like, tell me you've seen my stuff, or I get to ask questions. It was not that. It was
here's the template.
Who read me, the template was an upcharge.
Oh, wow.
She read me the template. Like, this is what you do. Basically, and this is true for a lot of things, what she gave me, I could have gotten on YouTube if I would have spent some time searching specific topics, right?
Yep.
Now, she did the work of compiling it all, and all she did, and I was like, oh, I got a question about that. She said, questions at the end. And so for an hour, she just read to me, which could have been a video, but I wouldn't have paid $250 for the video. Anyways, and so there were two things, like, yeah, $250, that's not nothing. But I knew then, like, okay, now I knew what to look for in other things, because I was interested in accelerating my learning. And the indicators of like, oh, this is going to be one of those things, that type of delivery, so I could avoid it. And that was, it only cost me $250. I could have bought on the different $10,000 course that I've spent bigger dollars on different things that were very much being talked at. Like, okay, I know that's not what I want and what I need. So I'm either going to have to spend more money or just find somebody that's doing it in the like that speaks more to me. And so the 250 felt like a loss in the moment, but big picture, again, the money I spent on the product or service was not worth that. But the lesson I got from the spend was extremely valuable, way more than the $250.
So I have one more question. I have a question to ask if this also was a takeaway, because I feel like I'm learning this. You've learned it way faster because you scale things faster than I do. Is there a learning moment in something like that also of what people are willing to spend money for?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, yes. There's another example I have. I mean, maybe not that one specifically, but when I was deciding, when it was like pretty clear to me, like, oh shit, I got to start my own business. The question I had in my head was, okay, I'm good at this stuff in construction with in this space, but I don't know what my skill set is beyond my little circle. Right. So I signed up for a pod cohort learning experience, and that was like $6,000. There were a couple of heavy nuggets, like really meaningful nuggets, and the coaches were like people that I respect and really, really admire and look up to. So it was freaking awesome content. Most of the stuff I had been, I'd suffered through already, but there were a couple of things that were like, man, I'm adding that in my bucket. Like, this is absolutely game changer for me. But my biggest takeaway from it was, oh shit, I got game. Like, I can't, we had people in there from healthcare, manufacturing, nuclear, like bigger industries, or not bigger, but other industries, and that have been playing at these levels within those firms and industries that I was able to stand toe to toe with. And so the real value I got out of the spend, or that pod, was understanding how much game I actually had.
Yes.
So similarly, like to the other little course that I mentioned earlier, I spent the $250 and I'm like, people pay for this shit. Like, one, I know I'm not going to deliver that kind of an experience. And two, I know I'm going to deliver a hell of a lot more value. So I don't have to worry about not having customers. Of course, running my own little business. So yeah, there was a lot of value in me spending that money. The product or service, not worth it.
Okay.
The takeaway, the lesson, 100% worth it.
Okay. Comments, because there's so much goodness right now.
I know, son of a gun. All right, so Miss Rashida Royale says, oh, this is a big one. Leaving my well-set job and working on my business with a newborn is the biggest risk I took and do not regret it a bit. That's what I'm talking about. Design the life you want because you can. So Rashida, best wishes to you on that path and on that journey. I think it's amazing. And then we got Troublemaker Kirby. She says, how do you see what you've been conditioned on if it is first instinct and first nature? Ooh, maybe a little in the box. Go ahead, Jen.
Well, I'm going to tell you, based on being a recovering person, that is exactly what you're speaking. I'm speaking from experience, Kirby. is you will never see it. Someone else has to see it and bring it to your attention. And not good, bad, or indifferent. There's nothing wrong with you. It is because you have lived in this bubble and in this condition for so long that until someone else asks a questions or observes it or wants you to explain something on why you do something, you will never see it. And that's my experience. So other people may have other opinions. And so that is why it is so important. And Jesse and I talk about this all the time. Of who are your board of directors? Who are the people that you surround yourself with? Who are the people that can say uncomfortable, sometimes stinky things, because it makes you have to take a step back and go, oh, like I didn't think about that, or oh, no one's ever told me that, or that didn't feel good. But let me dig on that and chew on that a little bit more. That is the only way for me that I was able to recognize, oh crap, like I'm doing these things out of just rinse and repeat, normal. That's the way that I need to function, and it was wrong.
Well, I'm gonna tweak that. I'm not gonna say it's wrong. I'll say it's no longer serving you.
Yeah.
Because it did serve a value at some point, but it can eventually become a block, right? Yeah. And so, I mean, one thing I'll say is kind of opposite to what you said, but still attempts to answer Kirby's question is. One thing to recognize is if you're always working on first instinct, like there's stimulus and response, and there's no thinking or decision making between the stimulus and response, that's instinct. It's safe to assume that you are operating on conditioned behavior. Because the change for me was this thing happens, what do I want to do? How am I going to respond? Why do I feel this way? And then I act. That's what helps me start recognizing and changing that conditioned behavior. Now, another way to change it, like Mr. Douglas Berry says, I'm not saying join the Air Force. I mean, you can if you want, but I think they have an age limit. His Air Force time broke him from being afraid of risk. And so I'm not saying Kirby.
It's like, no, I don't feel like doing that today, right? Like that doesn't feel good for me today. I'm gonna have to say no on that. Like, yeah, right.
No, but change your environment. We can all change the people we surround ourselves with, which ties to what you pointed out, Jen, right? Like, like that's just it. Who is my circle? Who are the people I spend time with? Maybe join a community like the Construction Leadership Lab, where you'll start seeing different perspectives. You'll start seeing different responses to particular things that'll cause you to question, like, why don't I see it that way? Like that happens to me all the time with like practical people. I'm like, why don't I think that way? It's like, oh, because I'm not a practical guy. But the main point is, instead of like passively, and when I say passive, I mean changing your circle because of a promotion or because, you know, the kids are going to middle school now and that naturally you're going to have be exposed to more people. Do it on purpose. Find circles of people or find specific people that function differently than you do and have conversations with them. That'll help you, like, oh, that psychopath, why do they, like, that's crazy. Okay, sure. And why do I think it's crazy? And that's where we could start evaluating and kind of peeling apart what our conditioned behavior is and start deciding how we want to recode our operating system.
And so I want to add to that, Jesse, because we haven't used this word in a while, but it's what we're not saying go out and get you some accomplices. We're not saying go out and the way Jesse and I define accomplices are people that are good, that you're surrounding yourself with, like, yeah, you're right, that wasn't fair, and you know they should have known better, and that's, you know, they don't even know your worth. Like, those are not the people we're talking about. So can you clarify that a little bit, Jesse? Because it's easy to go, well, I'm just going to go get my buddies because they're going to help me.
Yep. Yeah. Find people that are going to challenge your thinking, that challenge you, that make you feel uncomfortable. Right now, if you're lucky, you'll find people that have the courage to say, hey, that thing you just said, that's not the way I experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is my perspective. I don't know. You might be getting that wrong. That would be awesome. Like, ultimate. When you find those people that have the courage to like point out, hey, this is no bueno, then you're winning. But don't go find the people that are gonna sit there and commiserate with you. You're right. He sucks, and if he don't like you, if he can't take you at your worst, he don't deserve you at your best. Like, that's bullshit. You ain't gonna make no progress with that, man. That's an accomplice. Or just take it to the professional space. All the people that like to piss and moan about the culture and the bosses and all the things, but never take action on anything. It feels good to, point the finger and blame, but that don't make nothing happen. So find the action takers, the people that are operating differently, that are taking action, that are prepared to take action on the things they complain about. Maybe that's one, behavior.
They're willing to take some risk. I'm just going to say they don't have to go and try to blow things up, but they're willing to take risk on this could be. And this is how I explain it to people when I'm talking about it. Are they willing to have the uncomfortable conversation? I mean, 100%. And I was telling you, I've had this conversation with my 15-year-old twice in the last week of a friend that right now there's like, we're not talking to each other and I don't like it, but it's because she did this thing. And today she came in and no one came up and talked to her and she started crying and she got upset. And well, because she did this thing. And I'm like, okay. And so I asked her, I'm like, what's the issue? It's this because she did this thing. Have you talked to her about it? Well, no. Well, how do you think she's feeling? Well, probably this way. And do you like when you see her hurting? No. Well, then who needs to have the conversation? Well, somebody does. Okay. Who's going to have the conversation? It's not going to feel good because she probably had some faults in it as well. The next day, I pick her up. She's smiling. I'm like, what's wrong? Me and Kaylee are okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the name. Me and Kaylee are okay because, and I'm like, well, what happened? And she said, well, I went up there and I went up and talked to her and we talked about the things and I apologized for the things I did and now we're good. And so it was that plus another situation where I'm like, sometimes you have to have the uncomfortable conversation.
Yes. This discomfort thing keeps coming up, right? I think since we're struggling with it's hard to define risk because it's different for everybody, right? We all have different tolerances and all of that. So maybe it's another indicator of when it makes you feel uncomfortable, take the risk. Take the freaking risk. Leslie offers some other insight here, right? Like reignite our childhood curiosity, right? And I love it when people, and I don't get it as much as I used to, but people are like, man, you act like you're a kid. I'm like, what do you mean? Like you just do it, like you don't even care. I'm like, yeah, like. And so it's just that, right? Like when you watch kids, they'll climb on anything and they'll put anything in their mouth. And I'm not saying to do that, but they just want to experience it. And then they'll find out like, oh, dirt doesn't taste good. Don't do that again. So yeah, the childhood curiosity is massive. Man, we got a lot of freaking comments. All right, Maria.
Hello, Maria. I got to hang out with Maria this week. She's on her way home. So I told she's like, oh, I'm going to listen to you on the way home.
Yeah. Well, and so why do we want to take the risk? Well, Mr. Douglas says it. The children's smile, right? He took the risk to publish the children's books. The children smiles when they see my logo. The photos I get of them pretending to read their stuffed toys. They're only little for a little while. Oh, I love that. Only little for a little while. Let them enjoy it, right? So the return, again, we're talking about like human stuff here, right? Not businessy stuff.
Yes, like, it's not like I made this much money and this is my profit and this is my balance statement and this is all all the things that we already know are going to happen anyway.
Exactly. Those are kindergarten metrics.
Yes.
Let's talk about the impact we're having on human beings.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Christopher Johnson says, Jen, we're still just on the first
I
question.
know. I'm trying. I literally was going to say that while ago on. We do have 4 questions, and we're still on the first one, but that's okay because sometimes they go fast, sometimes they go a little longer.
Yep. So Chris says, my risk and ripples of impact moment was fill out a form to start a healthcare focused chapter of AMFP Nashville 4 years ago. Now we are over 160 plus chapter members putting on monthly programs, networking engagements, and have amassed over 1,000 followers. All right, folks. So look up AMFP Nashville and follow and go get involved, especially if you're in the area. But yeah, right. Like, okay, I'm gonna fill out a form so we can start this thing. And then, now one thing that's important: 4 years. Mm-hmm. Right? It doesn't happen overnight.
That part, Jesse.
So you got to be ready to put in the work. But beautiful example. Oh, we
putting
got our
in the work. And I really quick, just because I talk on this a lot, Jesse calls me out on it a lot. But putting in the work also is the reps. And so, like Jesse and I, this is 4.5 years, almost 5 years of us doing live streams. And the reps of doing live streams is what you're seeing today. It is not what 4.5 years looked like for Jennifer. 4.5 years ago for Jennifer did not look like this. So part of that is putting in the reps that then gets you opening your mind, trying new things, getting a little more comfortable. Then, okay, how do we push it beyond that when you're starting to get your cadence is good. Okay. Okay, what do I need to change or what do I need to try or stuff like that. So those reps matter too.
100%. I mean, here's the formula I use that helps me continue moving forward and like not lose things, because sometimes it's lonely. Like, you're not getting a response. You set up a thing and 3 freaking people show up. Like, that's not awesome.
Yep.
But I have to do the thing, because the answers that I'm looking for that keep me from doing the thing, I'll never know them until I do the thing. So I'm not going to know it ahead of time. The answers that I'm looking for, that we are looking for, that keep us from taking the risk, taking the step, are on the other side of action. Right? And so it's like, I don't need to have 1,000 steps mapped out. I just need the next one.
Yes.
And an idea of what I want it to look like after. And then I take the step. And if it's close to what I was hoping for, then the next step becomes clear. And then the next step becomes clear. All of the steps are not clear. There are some maps out there that you can use and say, okay, well, that's a good tactic. That's a good tactic. These are the tactics I'm going to try. But you still don't know if they're going to work based on you and your people and da-da-da-da-da. So you got to take the risk. You got to. The answers you're seeking are on the other side of action.
There's so much, Jesse. Like, I can't even put this into words, but like 5 years ago this month, Jesse, I just want to make sure we're clear. 5 years ago this month, Jesse and I decided we were going to do a set of 6 live streams on some topics around lean and love, not even lean and love, around love letters, 5S love letters. Like, it was just this idea, and we're going to do 6 live streams because we thought the topic was interesting and we thought it would be good to share it and socialize it 5 years ago. And then we did it for about 2.5 months. And we were like, you know what? This checked the box for us. This did what we hoped it would do. And then everyone else that decided to show up, like y'all today, were like, what's next? And Jesse and I were like, well, that was what was planned. And that was what we accomplished. And we had to sit and go, okay, what is the need? What are we serving? What are we trying to do? And it became bigger than what we wanted to do, or what we planned to do. And then we launched No BS, and then we also wrote a book, and we did all the things that I'm going to tell you. When we started that live stream 5 years ago in August, it was like, let's get through 6 live streams.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and again, signal after signal. You just got to do it, put it out there, see how the world responds. Yes. Totally worth it. Super, super fulfilling. And Miss Yesenia says, First small risk I recall taking was when I was in the 5th grade. Ooh, I like this. I was asked to join the TAG program, which required me to take a test and receive recommendations. Through this program, I learned about college and became the first in my family to attend. I'm a first generation Mexican American. That's what I'm talking. So again, another beautiful example of like taking a small risk long time ago, set a path that was outside of the norm from her personal experience. If she didn't take the risk, guess what? It would have been a different outcome. And then we got Maria Martin brings us a good point here. She says, oh, nope, not that one, this one. You can intentionally set on a journey of looking at your conditioned patterns. I agree it's awareness, but it's not limited to someone else giving me awareness. I can choose self-reflection and growth. 100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I can point things out to people, but if they don't introspect about it, it don't make a shit. Like it don't have no effect. And that's kind of, speaking about the risk, right? I had an idea about the love letters that I got. And I said, well, it may fall flat. Nobody, like me calling you to say, hey girl, I got an idea about this thing. Like there was risk. You could have like, what's this fool trying to hit up on me? And it didn't. So then we did the thing. But what I started, like the fulfillment I get from these live streams since we started them, Jen, is the introspection it causes in people. I love that when people say, man, y'all said this thing and I started looking at this and I made a decision based on like, that's the ultimate for me. That doesn't happen. Like everybody that watches this doesn't introspect, right? You always have the people, I will say the majority, the lurkers out there that I'll never know if we impacted them or not. And I know there's some, they're like, this is really good. And there's this list of people that really need this. And they never look at themselves. So I agree with you, Maria. It's totally, it doesn't have to be a team sport. You could do it all by yourself.
Because see, two things. One is I'm gonna say this to everyone listening right now. There's probably going to be a part 2 to this conversation, just because we only got to one question. But at some point, I want to answer the question for the audience. So I know we got other stuff going on, but I'm just like, anyway, this making my heart so happy right now.
And it could make for a super deep freaking after party.
Yes,
So
yes.
Put it out
Those
there.
of you that don't know.
Yeah. I'll drop the link here. Doug, you're new. We got a few blue hearts out there. We have an after party after this. I'll put the link in the chat here in about 15 minutes or so, where it's a call on Google Meets, and you don't have to have your camera on. I'm not going to have my camera on. But we can all have some dialogue about your takeaways and all the other good stuff. So, and yes, I agree, part 2. So we got 6 minutes before we do the randomizer. There's a few more comments I'm going to go through, and then I'll pop a question up.
Okay.
So Jim says, a lot of people have been pushing me to bring back a pretty successful event that I used to facilitate. Been on the ledge of jumping back into it. I should shut down that 10-4. Oh. And so, Jim, I'm just going to say it, like, it's happening, right? You've put it out into the world.
Yep.
I've been a part of, been able to experience that thing. It is, do it. Like,
yep.
Rather, how can I contribute to your path? And now there's other people out there in the omniverse that know about it. So it is very likely going to be coming back to life. So yes, please shut that down and just do the damn thing. Yesenia says, I'm curious to know how many live streams have been done so far.
You can go back, right, Jesse? You can go back to, I think, but you can't go back. They're a little separate because No BS. You can go back and look at all of our live streams on No BS. I know YouTube.
Yeah, so we've been doing a live stream más o menos every other week for 4 years?
4.5.
4.5. So that's like 117 live streams, right? If you divide 52
Those of you that are
Um,
new, you can go back in all the previous live streams of all the topics. You can binge it if you want.
yeah, I think, oh, actually, I know the exact number, Yesenia. The exact quantity of live streams we have done is chingos. That's how many chingos of live streams. Lots and lots of them. Man, that's a lot. I never even thought about that.
Scratch,
All
scratch,
right, so
scratch,
it's close
scratch,
to
scratch.
randomizer time. Question number 2 is
Wait, just can we go back? I just want to answer it.
yes.
The first question.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Go, go, go.
So
Duh.
yeah, if you'll just pull it. So what is one small risk you took that turned out better than expected? So those of you that don't know this, 23 years ago, this month, 23 years ago, I was coming out of teaching and coaching, and I was looking for what's next because it was like, what is that next thing for me? And for whatever reason, the opportunity and the people and the alignment all happened. And I somehow stumbled into this construction industry 23 years ago that was like no background, nothing that like in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm qualified for that. I can do that, whatever. It was like, there's this opportunity. Well, let me just put it, let me fax my resume in so that I can see if it's an opportunity that I can take. And somebody took a chance on me 23 years ago, and now they can't get rid of me. So anyway, that was a huge thing for me, shifting, like even as someone younger and not quite in the space that I'm in right now, going, let me try this whole other thing that like I don't even know what it entails. And by making that jump and taking that risk, and other people taking a chance on me, like that is how I've become all the things that I am. So
I
think
love that. And again, maybe this is something I didn't. What seems to be coming up over and over is the small risk that you take compounds in terms of impact and value over time. All right, and so call to action, y'all. Take a small risk, small, and it'll grow. It is very likely to grow based on the things that we've heard so far.
yes.
I love hearing that. All right, so here's the next question for people to chew on and respond to while we do the randomizer. So here's the question: what part of yourself have you toned down to make other people more comfortable? Right. And I get, like, again, this is kind of tied back to the conditioning thing and like the curiosity thing or courage or whatever. But a lot of times I'll say it this way. I've given this example before. I like wearing tank tops, AKA wife beaters, under my shirts because it reminds me of my uncles. They used to dress a certain way, but they always had tank, like it's a maybe a heritage thing for me, right? And then I was in a meeting and somebody pointed out that everybody was wearing t-shirts under their button-up shirts, not tank tops, and that I was one of those. And this was a long, long time ago, and it stuck with me. And so I started wearing t-shirts, right? Because it made them feel comfortable. I didn't really like it. It always bugged me because it was kind of a way of me bowing down and surrendering. And then finally, I'm like, you know what? I wonder, part of this is just in my head, but I don't give a shit if they have a problem with me, if I don't look as professional and executive as I should because I'm wearing a tank top under my shirt to a business function and not a t-shirt. They're just going to have to freaking deal with it. And like, for real, it may have just been one ignorant son of a bitch that made that comment and thought that way. But wearing the t-shirt caused me to feel smaller. And when I said, screw you, I'm going to wear the tank tops the way I like to wear my tank tops, I felt more. And it was an important thing for me. It's small and kind of silly, but that's my example of like toning myself down for other people's comfort, and then finally saying, you know what, piss on that. This is what Like if it's against policy, let me know. But if it ain't, tough shit. What do you think? Is that too weak of an
Nope.
example, Jen?
No, not at all. And I think it's funny that as you're talking, Maria puts a comment that literally, I believe there's a huge difference in being intentionally kind and shrinking yourself.
Yes.
So like
Yes.
it exactly what you're like being intentionally on, I'm not going to cause a ruckus. I'm going to
Right.
I'm going to be intentional on how I'm going to do this versus let me just change because it's going to be accommodating to everyone else.
Yes. 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 Agreed. Agreed. All right. So, folks, drop your answer in the comments, and we are gonna do the randomizer. I got to do some button pushing back here. Share screen. I always forget to set this up beforehand, but too bad. Here we are. All right, randomizer time. Let's see who gets selected. And we got a lot of options.
I know. I'm so excited.
Oh, 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 who's it gonna be? Winner.
We may have to do it. We may have to redo it, Jesse, because I'm not sure that's a person.
Okay, yeah. Let's redo it because well, but let's say this. Unity, whatever that says, photography. Find me on LinkedIn, DM me. I'll get you the calendar invite because there's no way for me to like DM them on the YouTube. But we're doing another drawing. Come on. Let's see who it is. Let's see who it is. Ah, Yesenia. All right, Yesenia, keep an eye out for a calendar invite. Congratulations. And you're here in San Antonio. Go get some delicious tacos. All right, let's go back to it. And the other YouTube person, like I said, let's figure out how to connect. I don't know how to do DMs on YouTube yet. I don't think it has that functionality, but we'll get you taken care of as well. And Yesenia, come on, sister, we'll be hanging out. Okay, now I'm going to throw this question back up, Jen. If you can do some wrangling around it, the idea, so I can go and put the link to the after party in the chat.
Okay, I can do that. I kind of have two examples, so I'll try to carry it a little bit. I'll try to take it off your shoulders for a second.
Please, thank you.
And so there are two big things that when I think about this and decisions that I intentionally made. So the first one was early. Again, I'm coming into a construction industry where I don't have a lot of knowledge and expertise, but I am a curious person. I am a learner. Like that is one of my 5 traits. Like it is, I want to learn and I want to be a sponge and take all the things. So my natural instinct is to ask questions. And that is like, I do that all the time. I probably drive people crazy. And so there were some things going on intentionally within the firm that I'm working in. And I was just peppering questions to one of our superintendents that I just saw that he was doing some really cool things. And there was a moment where I was asking questions or I was, hey, and the response back I got was like, you have to stop because you don't realize that I am building a building. Like I am building something. And like, that has to be like my focus. And again, it could have completely shut me down, Jesse. It could have been like, oh crap, like I don't know. And I don't do that. And so I need to be less. And so it was like I had to reconcile some things with me. And then I realized like, okay, Jennifer, but if you want to learn what this industry is and you want to learn more and you want to do more, then like you can't stop that, even though this one person maybe had a bad morning, maybe didn't drink their coffee, maybe whatever it was. And so, and I didn't just not give up on it. I didn't give up on him. Like I let that go be what it was. I let there be some space and I kept asking, kept living in that time. And then eventually had another conversation and he was like, hey, my bad. We just got out of a bad meeting, like whatever it was. But there was a moment where I had to make a decision. Do I need to be less than what I am because of my need to learn and I had to decide no, because my goals and where I want to be are much bigger than that. So there was that piece. And the other one is a little generic, but I think it's going to be relevant to the people that are listening. Is a decision will you pull the question back up? Because I just want to make sure I pose it the right way. The decision.
Yes, ma'am.
What part of yourself? So I'm a lot sometimes. I've been told that you're too much. You're a little bit, just there's a lot of things that I've been given as labels because of how I show up and what I do when I walk in rooms. And what I had to decide, and it was a decision, is I had to shift from I want to be in the room. What do I need to do to be in the room, to be invited into that room? To I need to be in the right rooms. And when I made, like, there are rooms that I'm going to say people intentionally do not invite me into. And there was a point where I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What could I do to then get invited in that room? Like that was a thinking. And I'm sure people do that because they want, like, I want to be in there. And I think when I shifted to, there's a reason that I'm not invited into those rooms. And so if I did get the invite, it's probably not going to fulfill what it needs to fulfill in me. So then when I started focusing on what rooms, can I go in and lead? That's always my first one. The second one is what rooms can I go in that I get invited into that they are welcome and receiving of whatever I'm bringing. And as soon as I made that shift, I did get much more fulfillment over here. And just so you'll know, I started getting invited in those other rooms. And the cool thing is they knew what they were inviting. So I didn't have to temper. I didn't have to hold back. When they did invite me into those other rooms, I got to show up as my full self. That was, like, to me, I didn't plan it, but it was a really cool way of me not shrinking and going, okay, I've got to figure out what's important to me and how do I need to show up and who do I need to serve. And it ended up kind of helping a bigger group. So anyway.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I think I love that. Let's see, our buddy Jeremy just commented.
Morning, Jeremy.
First he said good morning, then he says, trust I deal with this, LOL. I think part of what you said, or what I took from what you said, was there's a risk, like, I recognize that as a risk of, like, okay, what happens if I stop trying to appease everybody to be invited to everything? Right? Like, maybe I'll have less friends. I'm not going to have, like, the opportunities. The risk is that the opportunities will get fewer. True. But the next question you said was, where do I want to be? Like, what rooms do I want to be in? What's important to me? Like, what effect do I want to have? What do I want to get, right? What's that exchange? I'm just going to focus my energy there instead of all the bullshit. It's just this. And so for, like, you weren't getting invited anyways, right? We're not getting invited anyways. So if we focus and start signaling, this is what's important to me, this is what I care about, this is how I want to contribute, we start getting access to that. And then the tail end of that is you get invited to all the other bullshit. Whereas if you were still, shotgun blasting, trying to be everything to everybody, you would be at the same place. You would not be where you want to be.
Correct.
And so the risk of, like, being all of you or more of you has paid off in the long run in terms of, like, what that original desire was. Yeah. So there you go, folks. Doug says that's too much work for me. Exactly, bro. Right? It takes so much energy to, I had this conversation with my brother Ernest here the other day. It's like, man, like, it's interesting about energy management, right? And so for me, it's not a matter of how much fatigue I get from showing up with the intensity of energy that I bring to things. There is fatigue that comes with that. There is way more fatigue from me toning the volume down, toning the intensity down, working and adjusting and cajoling to conform to what other people's expectations are or what I think they are, that takes way more energy. Like, sorry, y'all, like I'm gonna have fun, and that's what it's gonna be.
And we may
So
leave
thank you for
people
that.
behind, and you've got to be okay with that. Like,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
like you are not everybody's cup of tea, and like I'm just gonna tell you, you may not, if you haven't accepted that yet, that's okay. Like there's steps to this recovery process, but if you haven't accepted that, like you are not everybody's cup of tea. There's always going to be someone out there judging, having an opinion, trying to do all the things. Like it just is what it is. You will never just check all the boxes for everybody. And as soon as you can like just own that and accept it, then you may leave those people behind. They may become white noise, but like it is what it is.
Yes, 100%. Russell says calculated tone downs is greater than shy. Oh, yeah, very well said. Right, there are times, like 100%. There are times where the size in which I show up is adjusted, but it's calculated. It's not because I'm concerned, right? It's just not the appropriate tone. Beautiful way to state that, Russell. And then Maria, I agree. I think this is the key. When you stop worrying about pleasing everyone else, you can learn how to please yourself. Not like that, but can be part of it to build the life you want, right? Like, what's bringing you fulfillment? How do you best serve? Those are the questions I ask myself all the time. Is this fulfilling? What do I need to do to get more fulfillment? And how do I best serve? That's it. It's that simple to build the life I want. And all right, so we got 3 minutes, folks. I want to draw your attention to the after party. I put the links out there in the chats. If you can't find them in there, go to No BS with Jen and Jess on LinkedIn. The link is there. We have an event there too. Again, like I said, it is a Google Meet. You're not going to see my face. You don't have to show your face. We just want to have a conversation on, maybe continue the conversation if that's helpful to you.
And it's less of us talking. It's less of us talking, and it's giving you a voice, and we're there, but it's literally you've gotten to listen to us for an hour and 15 minutes. And so the goal is now people can share their thoughts and ideas and have conversations with each other. Yeah.
And my last statement is going to be just Jeremy. Jeremy says, the way I message changes depending on who. Yes. On energy, what I focus on matters. I've recently learned this. My focus has a mental cost. Amen. I may be someone's shot of moonshine. I am what I am. I love that.
I like that.
All right, Jen, you got a thought to close with before
I'm going to say, that's going to be my new, Jeremy, I'm going to steal that. But like, sometimes I burn going down. I'm just going to say.
I like that.
I'm going to have a t-shirt. Sometimes I burn going down.
Yeah, I like that. Awesome. All right, it's time to release the new choreography. Hit play, Jen, and we'll get this dance going.
Okay, here we go.